Tuesday, September 18th, 1990. Our champion, Doug Molitor, is 2 steps away from an ultimate challenge worth $56,000. This is writer Toni Norman. And this is sports editor Chick Jacobs. Doug is the champion. Toni and Chick, you are the challengers. And now, here is your master of the challenge, Dick Clark.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome on a Tuesday to the Challengers. Toni and Chick are going to be doing their best to take care of Doug. Doug, you were extraordinary yesterday. I mean, you had, what was the bet? 33,100 and some?
31.50.
And you bet it all.
I thought it was $31.50.
No. I know you better, but look what's happened. You're up to $12,600 so far. Congratulations. Now, everybody knows that any player who wins 3 games in a row will have a shot at the Ultimate Challenge, which has now grown to $56,000. Congratulations to all of you for a good game so far. Actually, we haven't seen you perform yet, Toni and Chick, but we will in a moment. I'll reveal the categories, and it'll be the first half of the game. We'll play the Challenger Sprint Round for control. The significance of this thing, of course, is the person who gets it has the first shot at the board, and it gives you a little bit of an edge. However, there's plenty of room for everybody else to catch up. I'll toss as many questions as I can in the 1 minute. As you know, many of our questions in our sprint round and the main game come right out of today's news. $100 for every correct answer. We'll take away $100 if you're wrong. The player with the most money when the time runs out will have the first selection from the category board. If you're all set, please set the timer for 1 minute, and let's begin. Blondie and Dagwood recently celebrated their 60th anniversary in the Funnies. What's their last name, Doug?
Bumstead.
That's right. Believe it or not, the Raiders football team is staying in L.A. In what California city? Yes, Toni?
Oakland.
They originated in Oakland. Cardiologist Bernadine Healy is expected to be nominated as the first woman to lead the NIH. What do those initials stand for, Doug?
National Institute of Health.
Yes. Just after Labor Day, which co-host of the Today Show announced she was expecting, Toni?
Deborah Norville.
Correct. 2 weeks ago, the U.S. Navy seized an Iraqi freighter in which Mideast Gulf? Doug?
The Persian Gulf.
No, sir. Anybody else? Time's up. The Gulf of Oman. Who am I describing? He turns 50 today. He's a singer. He starred in beach movies with Annette Funicello. Chick?
Frankie Avalon.
You bet your life. Marjorie Judith Vincent was just crowned Miss America. She represents what state? Chick?
Illinois.
Correct. 35 years ago this month, the longest-running Western series in TV history made its debut. Name it. Chick?
Gunsmoke.
Correct. In ancient... I'll continue, and then we'll finish. Hold a second. In ancient Greek mythology, who was the leader of the Argonauts? Toni.
Jason.
That's good. It puts you on the board, and we've got a tie. I'm going to break the tie. Toni and Chick, hands on buzzers. Name the personality test that relies on the interpretations of ink blots. Toni.
Rorschach.
You've got it, and you have control of the game. You've all got money on the board, and for each of you, we've opened your own personal Citibank Visa account. The money you earn today will be deposited in that account. All the cash you earn and all the benefits that go with your account are yours to keep. I know you're ready to play the game, so let's turn to the first half. And these are the categories. We've got To the Max, Nursery Rhymes, The World Today, Have a Ball, Celebrity Class Reunions, and Lady Killers. And it's up to you, Toni, to make the first choice.
Let's start with nursery rhymes, please.
Nursery Rhymes. Sounds like an easy one. The $150 category deals with the cat and the fiddle. Then we've got Three Men in a Tub and The Farmer in the Dell. That'll be challenging, and we got $150 to $250. You guys have already locked in on me over there. Let's see. We've got Toni and Doug going for the $250 question. We'll start with you, Chick, for $150. After the cat and the fiddle went diddle diddle, the cow did something. What?
Oh, he jumped over the moon.
You bet your sweet bippy he did. All right, for $150. Toni and Doug for $250. In the classic rhyme, The Farmer in the Dell, what stands alone? Toni?
What is the cheese stands alone?
That's right. I don't know what it means. I never did figure it out. All right, you've still got control. Which one do you want to go to?
Let's try To the Max, please.
To the Max. All right, let's see what we have. For $150, Television Max, Sports Max, and Shakespearean Max. You each have that little control over there. Figure out what you'd like to wager on. All right, we have 2 Sports Max questions coming up between Toni and Chick. We'll have 1 question for the 2 of you, so if you will, hands on buzzers for $200. Tennis ace John McEnroe has served up love off the court with an Academy... Chick?
Tatum O'Neal.
Yes, the award-winning actress. Name her, and you've got it. Tatum O'Neal. Doug, for $250 in Shakespeare's play Macbeth, who finally kills Macbeth?
Macduff.
You're right, for $250. Now, so far so good. We've got two people over there with $650. Doug, you're trailing, but it'll change in a moment, I'm sure, as we continue our game right here on this challenge. Back we go to the challengers. Toni, they announced you as a writer at the top of the show. What do you write?
I write children's books.
That require a special knack? Do you have to get younger? Or?
I try to put myself in the place of an animal and then write about that animal. I think it just takes imagination.
Whatever you say, my dear. Now, Doug, yesterday you favored us with one of your many impressions. I presume you have another?
Well, this is another famous John. This is John Houseman. You come in here with a mind full of mush and leave here thinking like a lawyer. You acquire knowledge the old-fashioned way. You'll learn.
All right. Chick, how'd you get the name Chick?
Well, it was during my brief inglorious junior varsity football career. We were getting particularly trounced one night, and the coach says, well, you kids are playing like a bunch of darn chickens. And on that whole team, there was only one person stupid enough to go...
You got it. Yeah, lots of strange sounds emanating from the board over there. Let's check the accounts here for a second. Chick, you and Toni have $650. Doug, you're trailing at $350. You do, however, have control of the game. So if you will, sir, pick one from the world today. Have a ball, celebrity class reunions, and lady killers.
Let's go with lady killers.
Lady killers it is. For $150, the question about Bruce Willis. For $200, George Michael. For $250, Henry VIII. There's a lady killer if ever there was one. All right. Place your wager, if you will, please. Henry's the favorite of the crowd over there. You and Doug and Toni will have that in a second. Chick, we'll start with the $200 question on George Michael. Although George Michael's new solo album was released only 7 days ago, he reports that the first single from the album is already getting more radio airplay than any song since We Are the World. Name the song.
Is it Listen Without Prejudice?
No, sir, it's Praying for Time. The album is Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1. Good knowledge, but not the right piece, though. Toni and Doug. For $250, King Henry VIII of England was known for his unconventional method of settling family disputes. Name the first of his wives he beheaded. Toni?
Anne Boleyn.
You are right for $250. You've got control of the game now.
Let's try celebrity class reunions.
All righty, for $150 here, let's see what we have. There's a face of 60, of 62, and a face from 76. If you will, select the one you want to wager on. Remember, the higher the dollar value, the more valuable it is. Class of 62. Look to the video wall. Let's see what we have that comes up there. If you recognize this member of the class of 62, you will probably remember his Hawaii-based TV series in which he played the title character. Name the series.
Oh, Magnum P.I.
Magnum P.I., and that was Tom Selleck, the one we were just looking at. All right, hands on buzzers for $250 again. Look to the video wall. This member of the class of 76 received her first Oscar nomination for a movie set in pre-revolutionary France. Name the film. Toni?
Dangerous Liaison?
Yes, and that was Michelle Pfeiffer. You got it for $250. You still maintain control of the game, and we've got, let me see, I think a couple of more subjects up there. I'll pop them up for you in half a second. One is The World Today, and the other is Have a Ball.
Let's try Have a Ball, please.
Have a Ball. The $150 question deals with baseball, football, and Lucille Ball. You never know where these people are going to go. Please place your wager. All right, we'll turn to the Lucille Ball questions for the gentleman in a moment, but first, Toni, for $200. The opening of the college football season held a lot of surprises, including an opening game lost by the defending national champion team. Name it.
Oklahoma Sooners.
No, the Miami Hurricanes was the right answer. I'm sorry, we'll deduct from your score. Gentlemen, one question for the two of you for $250. As Mrs. Ricky Ricardo, it was clear that everybody loved Lucy. But before she became Ricky's wife, What was Lucy Ricardo's maiden name? Chick?
McGillicuddy.
You're right, sir, for 200. There's real trivia knowledge. All right, let's see. Tony, you've got the lead. The other folks are over there running along right behind you, and we'll be back in just a moment to play the second half of the game. And this is where everything takes a turn about, because we're going to double the value of all of our questions here on the Challengers.
Magazine. And now, back to the Challengers.
Thank you, Don Morrow. Tony, you and Chick are neck and neck. You've got $950 as $900. Doug, a little catch-up time would be appropriate for you at $350, but you got a lot of money in the bank so far. We're going to start the second half of the play, and we'll double the value of all of our questions. Chick, you're going to make the choice of these 6 categories, and they are famous last lines, profiles, celluloid sleuths, MTV Awards 1990, Paul Newman, and a woman's place is in the sun. Or is in. I have added a word, and I shouldn't have, but that may be what it means, but not necessarily. Don't take that for granted. Select the one, please.
Let's start with MTV Awards, please.
All right, MTV Awards. All of the questions in this category, by the way, are based on the MTV Awards show of 1990, which were held about a week and a half ago. The $300 question is on triumphs. The $400, multiple wins, and the $500 is shutouts. The higher the value, the more difficult it is. And where are you going to go? All right, the gentleman going for the multiple wins at $400, and Tony, will start with you at $300. The man who won the Best Male Video Award captured the honor for his hit song, The End of the Innocents. Name this former member of the Eagles.
Don Henley.
You're right, for $300. Gentlemen, up for the $400 challenge. Name the man who won the awards for Best Rap Video. Chick?
MC Hammer.
And dance video to boot for You Can't Touch This, MC Hammer. Chick, you've got control of the board. Where do we go now?
Oh, let's try famous last lines, please.
Famous last lines. All right, the first question worth $300 in history, out of novels, and on the stage for $500. And it's time now to make a bet. All right, everybody's going to get a question this time. You all selected a different category, so Chick, will start with you at $300. Name the American patriot who just before he was executed said, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country."
Patrick Henry.
No, sir. Do you know now? Nathan Hale.
Nathan Hale.
Sorry about that. All right. Tony,
That was bad.
let's see. You're next at $400. In what English novel would we find a character uttering the last lines which begin, "It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done"?
A Tale of Two Cities.
Exactly, said by Sidney Carton. Congratulations. And Doug, for $500, name the Shakespearean character who, after drinking a cup of poison, utters the last line, "Thus, with a kiss, I die."
Hamlet.
No, sir, Romeo. Romeo said that. Aren't we going to lose some money over there?
Poison, yes.
Tony, you've got control of the board, and the subjects are 4 up there. Which one would you prefer?
I'd love to go for Paul Newman.
Paul Newman. A lot of women like to go for Paul Newman. All right, we've got the $300 question. Who, what, and where for $500? 3 to $500 questions. Select one, please, and make your wager. All right, 2 of you going for the what question, and Chick, will start with you with the $500 question. Tony and Doug stand by. Chick, for $500 in the movie Fat Man and Little Boy, Paul Newman plays a general overseeing atom bomb testing. In what state?
New Mexico.
Yes, sir, you're right. For $400, Tony and Doug will knock this one out of the way. The businessman Paul Newman donates all his profits of his best-selling salad dressing to charity. What is the brand name of his salad dressing? Tony?
Newman's Own.
You are right for $400. Chick, I took you out of order, but you won the most money, so you have control of the board. Which one would you like?
Let's take profiles, please.
All right, sir. This first profile is worth $300. The next one is 4, and the next is 5. Which one of these profiles do you want to wager some of your money on? All right, we got a couple of them there going for the $500 biggie. That's Tony and Doug. Chick, for $300. Look to the video wall, and if you recognize this nose, you should know this man's theme song. Name it.
Thanks for the memories.
That's Bob Hope's theme song for sure. For $500, Doug and Tony, you've got your hands on the buzzers. Look to the video wall, if you will. And you see him in all his glory. If you recognize this nose, You'll want to answer truthfully or else. You're looking at Pinocchio. Name Pinocchio's father. Doug?
Geppetto.
Geppetto was his dad. And you got yourself back in the game, Doug. Where do you want to go now? Let me get those subjects up for you, and I think we've only got a couple of them. A woman's places and celluloid sleuths.
I think I'll go with celluloid sleuths.
I'm going to stay away from the women for a second. For $300, we've got Philip Marlowe for $4, Sherlock Holmes, and Nick Charles for $500. Time to make your wager. Sherlock Holmes is over there all by himself. Chick, you've got that $400 question. Starting in 1939, actor Basil Rathbone made a series of 14 films as Sherlock Holmes. The first film was based on the most familiar of the Holmes stories. Name it.
Is that the Hound of the Baskervilles?
It was indeed for $400. All right, Tony and Doug. Nick Charles' question for $500 in the classic series of Thin Man films. Amateur sleuth Nick Charles was played by William Powell. I didn't finish. What do you think's going to happen now?
Myrna Loy.
No, sir. I will finish the question, Tony. That's the danger of jumping in. You can get an edge, but if you're wrong, it costs you money. I had finished saying amateur sleuth Nick Charles was played by William Powell. You don't have to answer this, but I'll finish. Name the suave actor who played Nick in the Thin Man TV series. You may answer it, or you may pass as you like.
I like to pass.
Like to pass. All right, it's Peter Lawford was the fellow in the TV series. Now, that sound tells us we're about ready to move into our final challenge of the day. And, Doug, I've got some sorry news for you. We dropped that amount there, but it's not all that bad. Let's see how much you accumulated along the way. It's $12,600. Thank you so very much. We'll catch you the next hour. If you'll step to the side and let these two people go at it because they've got a tough thing going. Doug, you did a good job. And in this round, you folks are going to be able to wager any or all of your monies in your account in one final question of your choice. The player making the highest wager will get to answer that question if you're ready. Here is your final challenge of the day, and it is the National Medal of the Arts 1990. By the way, all of the choices in this category deal with people who were honored by President Bush last week with the National Medal of Arts. Now, challengers, we're going to post the odds on the questions. The higher the odds, the more difficult the question will be. Here are the questions. The first one is about actors. That's an even bet. You can double your wager on singers and triple it on painters. Take a second here. Don't hurry. You'll have 15 seconds to select your question and make your final wager of the day. Look what's going on here. Tony's got $2,050. Chick has $2,200. It's all a matter of strategy now. Who is going to corner whom? The challenge is yours. Tony and Chick have locked in their wagers, and we'll start with you, Tony. $2,050. It's all your money. What did you decide to do with it?
I went for painters for $1,050.
All right, that's a triple wager, and that's a lot of money. Chick, which one did you go for?
I went for singers for $550.
All right, we'll figure out what all of this means and what the strategy will amount to when we come back with singers and painters right after this.
Back to the final challenge, and here's your host, Dick Clark.
And we indeed are ready to play the final challenge, and once again I'll point out that the money our players accumulate in their accounts has a very special value. Don?
Thank you, Dick. All of today's players receive their winnings in a Citibank Visa account. They get all the distinct benefits and exclusive service that only Citibank provides.
And Tony and Chick, remember you can do anything you want with the money in your account, including converting it to cash. The final challenge category is the National Medal of Arts, and this all happened just this last week with President Bush. I hope your memory is good. I'm curious to know, Chick, why you elected to go with singers.
Singers I know, and I probably know actors better, but I know the singers well enough, I hope.
This is what it all amounts to. You elected to go for $1,100 of your winnings. It'll give you a grand total of $3,300, which is a lot of money, but then it'll all depend on how well she knows painters. So, if you are ready, sir. In 1980, this opera singer received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 1985, the Kennedy Center honored her, and last Monday, the soprano called Bubbles received the National Medal of Arts for $3,300. Name this opera singer.
Is it Beverly Sills?
You are right, sir, with $3,300. Your strategy paid off. Now, it all hangs on how... Toni, are you an expert in painters?
My husband, Michael, is an artist, so I'm hoping some of it has rubbed off.
All right, you gambled $1,050 at triple the odds. That means if you're right, it's $5,200 and the win. Look to the video wall, if you will. Let's see what we see coming up there. The artist who created this painting was honored last Monday with the National Medal of Arts for $5,200. Name the artist.
Pollock?
I'm sorry, it was Jasper John.
I knew that.
That's a tough break. That leaves you with $1,000. Chick, you got $3,300. Back tomorrow, the challenge, 2 new people. 4, I think it's up to $57,000 at that point. We'll see you tomorrow. For now, Dick Clark. So long.
Some contestants today will receive a Lens Crafters gift certificate. Why wait weeks for eyeglasses? Custom crafted, top-quality glasses in about an hour. Lens Crafters and Ruffy's Color Sense trash bags. Decorator colors, fresh fragrances. It's the best value you'll ever throw away. Introducing Jovan Musk Active, a line of aftershaves and deodorants for the man on the go. Jovan Musk Active for every day. And get your whole wash fresh and clean at a refreshingly low price. Arm & Hammer laundry detergents, liquid or powder from the freshness experts. And Capri Moisturizing Shower Soap. Creamy lather and micro-moisturing beads soften your skin. Capri gives you softer skin. This is Don Morrow speaking. The Challengers is a Ron Greenberg production in association with Dick Clark Productions.